Hello and welcome. I am the Imperishable, and on today's video we are talking about the Tomb Scorpion. So this is our second kind of unit deep dive, and we're having a look at the Tomb Scorpion, looking at how to try and use it, its kind of fear factor that it seems to have about itself, its monster slaying, its killing blow, its T5 body with a lovely bit of magic resistance. So let's have a chat about the model and let's see how we can use it effectively. So, on to the units. The Tomb Scorpion has movement 7, which is really good for us. As Tomb Kings players, we can move quite fast. Weapon skill 4 means kind of most other targets, so most kind of big kind of monsters are usually weapon skill or weapon skill 3 or weapon skill 4, so we can hit them on 3s and 4s, which is really key. Strength 5, toughness 5. So strength characteristic is really kind of crucial here. Means we're wounding normal infantry on 2s, kind of tough and monstrous infantry on 3s, other mini monsters on 4s, and kind of those monsters that we really want to get after are 5s. But we don't really care about that. We'll care about the 6s. That's what we care about. Toughness 5 is a really good kind of breakpoint. Key things that will probably snipe off for Tomb Kings and get rid of them are strength 4. So fireball would be a great target here. It's only 3 wounds. We've only got 5 up, 6 up, and it can really hurt. So making them wound on 5s really helps. A pillar of fire are a bit less scared, so you need 6s to wound us, and we still get our regen, so it just makes us a little bit more survivable. Initiative 3 is quite nice. Means like if we do get a charge off, we're initiative 6. Kind of if we get counter charged by, let's say, a lancing Knights of the Realm, there I think initiative 3. So we go fight at the same time. You should hopefully bring some down and hopefully survive. 4 attacks. This is really good, okay? Because this is really where the kind of the maths behind of how many times we can get 6 goes off, and people start getting really scared of them. Leadership 8 doesn't really matter unless we want to reform or if our Hierophant dies, which as a Tomb King player, you've got to make sure you protect them. Okay, it's a monstrous creature, so it does get lumbering after it moves. Unless you march, which we can't do, so that's good to see. Scavenging swords, environment staying, and heavy armor, which is good, nice to see. Well, ambushes for 5 points. I think you'll always pay for it, because depending on the matchup, you'll put them in ambush for trying to target after war machines, to be a bit of a threat, can bully the midboard with a special ability from the Lich Priest, which we'll have a look at the moment. Or it's just if you want to get a drop down. Okay, because making sure we're going first sometimes is really crucial, especially the types of armies you play. So I play very much a shooting cult list, so I do want to make sure I get that turn 1. Their special rules: Close Order, Indomitable 1, Magic Resistant 1, Look Around Undead, Early Gen 6+, Stop Attacks D3, Switch Ride Vanguard. So having ambushes and Vanguard is really cool. So depending on the matchup, if you're always going to go sack them because of the battle drops they've got, just have them on Vanguard up into a good position. You can Swift Stride, so you've got a 16-inch threat range. So from turn 1, you've got 23-inch threat range. So on the flank attack mission, you have there's a chance you could do a turn 1 charge if you wished. But the thing that really makes them great is its weapon. Its strength's 5, so pretty good. We talked about how versus certain things really good. AP 2, so most things are like, let's say, plate armor and shield, heavy armor and shield. Heavy armor and shields, it means we can get through them. They'll have 6 up saves, really cool. The special rules, and this is why everyone gets scared of a Tomb Scorpion: Killing Blow and Monster Slay. We have 4 attacks, hitting you most of the time, I say, on 4s or 3s. Let's go 4s. So I'm getting 2 hits. I've got, and then obviously I'm looking for that 6. If I go into that Gorgon, I get that turn 1 thing. I fight for that 6. I'm a 75 point model. That's gone and try and take down a 200 odd point model versus stuff like so 2 hits. I need obviously a 6 here. So what I'm really after is a 6. A 1 in 6 chance. You've got 2 attempts at it. Your odds are not that bad for 75 points if you weigh it up, like percentage of failure and how many points it would be worth. You can bring down kind of big threats. Killing Blow also, so things like ogres, dragon ogres are very scared of Tomb Scorpions, because if you can get that charge off, even if it's an inch or an inch, you're going to fight before them. They have great weapons most of the time. If you get a 6, killing off 4 wounds of a dragon ogre is phenomenal. So this alone is what makes them a key pick for a Tomb Kings player. It's not actually on their output, it's what they do to the opposition, because generally everyone sees it, it's like, okay, that can kill me, that can one-shot my dragon. It's got multiple saves, it's got regen, it's got a ward, it's got a 2-up armor save. But you get 1-6, they're on a 5-up ward most of the time. And most players aren't going to run that risk of, oh yeah, whatever, you can charge me. So they'll play a lot more cagey with their big threats. And that's what we want to do. We want to make them a bit cagey, push them back, maybe not fully get to us, because obviously we don't want them touching our wizards, because then we start crumbling, we lose our regen, or our kind of gun line, looking at all our bows, shabdi. It just means there. So this kind of threat isn't one that I often use in the sense of actually killing things. It's more that it just stops my opponent being like, no, I'm not going to charge that. No, I'm not doing that. Or you're an inch away from me. If I charge my great weapons, I don't actually get to hit you before you potentially take out my front line. But you tell them like, oh, it's not that good odds. But there is a chance that you roll four fours and to hit, and then 4 6s, and you've wiped out a whole unit of dragon ogres. So it does really stop them. And obviously being strength 5 AP -2, so even if I don't get the killing blow, most of the time I'm going to do a couple wounds. -2 is really big, so even like Dragon Ogre puts them up on a 5 up, versus kind of like normal infantry, they most of the time don't have a save, they're light armor shield. And with kind of comps looking at, especially like the Welsh Open, which we'll be having a chat with Ollie this week, kind of makes them really great, just straight there. Their other weapon is just the Envenomed Sting, and unlike others where it's like you have to do this, this is just a choice. It's poison attack strength first at strength 5, so depending on what you're going into or what's happening, so if let's say there's a 1 wound kind of character left or anything, just go for it. Strength 5, cool. Imagine bringing someone down for 75 points. It's this price tag of 75 points. So if you're a cult player, you have to bring them 2. So 150 points to start off without. But they're just very good value and just very good for what they do. Something that makes them even better. And this is why I always say you always go for ambush. Because we're Tomb Kings, we don't have to come on from edges and boards, especially in Mountain Pass. You don't have to go all the way back and come on. We've got something even better. We have From Beneath the Sands. So what this is, it's a leadership test from your Lich Priest. And if it's passed, you can put a model that was in ambush wholly within 12 of that Lich Priest, in any facing way, whatever you want to do, and it can move afterwards because it's coming on in the command phase. It cannot charge though, has to be without 6, but the whole point is I can be, okay, I'm 6 inches away from you, you got your big Dragon Ogre blob with great weapons, I move my 7, I'm an inch away, you charge me and use those great weapons, I am fighting before you. So there is such a strong kind of pressure here that if they come up to you and you get off this leadership 8 roll, obviously it's not great, but Team Kings, we're always going to have our BSB. If you don't run a BSB, it really hurts. So we're going to an 8 rerollable. If you take more than 1 wizard, you can really help it there. It's this idea that you can plonk out, a bit like in 40k where you have a deep strike. I'm going to put it here. There's no set location where this guy can go. I can have it straight behind me if, let's say, some Gyrocopters have jumped over. I've got a bit of a threat, something to protect my backline. Okay? If, as you say, a flanking force coming with knights coming there, I'll just put them there and move up 6. Yeah, you get 1 inch charge. Okay? Or you can place it on the flanks of things, move it, and so if they go forward, it's like, cool, I'll charge you next time. I've got a flank, I'm going to have a rear. It makes them really work. And it's not the biggest like footprint. So stay 6 inches away from most things is quite easy with a Team Scorpion. And obviously if you're in the cult, you can take Terror's Blow for 2 points. Once again, I would always do that because you make them do 3 initiative tests on their infantry. And in a mirror match, you can take down the Hierophant and it can actually just win you a game from a 77 point model because I rolled an 8 on my leadership, which is rerollable. So this just helps it being this psychological nightmare for your opponent. Personally, I don't kill a lot of things with Tomb Scorpions. Matchup dependent, obviously, versus Ogres, I easily get my points worth because once a killing blow, it means toughness 5. But just in general, it's a headache for your opponents, and that's what you play it for. You use them on your flanks and be like, okay, you're not rushing down your dragon down here, mate, or your dragon ogres, because I'm just going to move up in front of you and fight before you. I'm going to be annoying and cause you issues. So this is why you take them, and you always take them with ambush. I don't like when people say, oh, don't take an ambush, it's a waste of 5 points. You can really play aggressive and psychological warfare with that for 5 points. Anywhere in this battlefield, basically, I can put a Tomb Scorpion that's got Killing Blow Monster Slayer. I can put it behind your Gorgon, who's got Frenzy, okay, and just bait him out, okay. I can put him to the side, and then I have something dead in front. Gorgons have to go 6. Oh, it's an unfavourable charge. You have to stay there, and I'm going to kill you. There's things like that can really just mess with your opponents. If you play it strategically, you can get into flanks, you can get into rears of some strong opponents. Another thing that makes it really good, and something I'm trying out for the Welsh Open, which this week, is the Scar approach. So holding with an 18 now. So now I have a massive bubble where I can put Tomb Scorpion wherever I want. Leadership 8, re-rollable. It's just strong, and you'll see him in basically every Tomb Kings list. I say a lot of people running the cult, so you have to take them. But even like in Grand Army, you're seeing them as just supporting pieces because they can go on your flanks and they'll protect your flanks. So that's the Tomb Scorpion. It is a very strong piece, not just on its output, but kind of messing with the opponent's plans. They'll get very confused and very worried about what they can or can't do versus it. They'll sit further back, even though they probably just one-shot it, but it just messes with your opponent. So to play it well, make sure you have ambush. Keep them in an ambush if you can, or, depending on what your verse is, have them on the flanks with that Vanguard Swift Stride. Be a menace and use them to get into flanks and psychologically mess with your opponent, especially if they've got stuff like Dragon Ogres and Gorgons and monsters that we could potentially fight before and have a better weapon skill. So, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found this interesting. Goodbye.